This is CBN NewsWatch.
Thanks for joining us for CBN NewsWatch. I'm Mark Martin. Turkey says it won't give in to President Trump's threat of economic sanctions if imprisoned U.S. pastor Andrew Brunson isn't released. The Turks say their court should decide his case. Vice President Mike Pence made the warning clear at a global summit on persecution. Eric Rosales has the story.
Demands Turkey to release Pastor Andrew Brunson now. Vice President Mike Pence echoed the demand at the first ever ministerial summit to advance religious freedom.
To President Erdogan and the Turkish government, I have a message on behalf of the President of the United States of America. Release Pastor Andrew Brunson now, or be prepared to face the consequences.
President Trump spelled out the consequences in his recent tweet. The United States will impose large sanctions on Turkey for their long-term detainment of Pastor Andrew Brunson, a great Christian, family man, and wonderful human being. Turkish authorities arrested Brunson in 2016 on charges he helped plan a failed coup. The 50-year-old pastor faces up to 35 years in prison. Wednesday, a court ordered Brunson taken from prison and placed on house arrest. The vice president says that's not good enough.
Pastor Andrew Brunson is an innocent man. There is no credible evidence against him. I know that his faith will sustain him, but it shouldn't have to. Pastor Andrew Brunson deserves to be free.
Pence told the leaders of more than 80 countries the list of religious freedom violators is long. China, Iraq, and North Korea top the list. And even though President Trump is seeking better relations with North Korea, the administration continues to press the issue of religious freedom.
North Korea's persecution of Christians has no rival on the earth. It is unforgiving, systematic, unyielding, and often fatal. The mere possession of a Christian Bible is a capital offense.
At the Holocaust Museum, U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations Nikki Haley spoke about the U.S.'s commitment to protecting religious liberty.
We will continue to forcefully advocate for religious tolerance in the international arena, not just because so many people are being denied this right, but because defending religious freedom makes for a safer and more peaceful world for all of us.
Secretary Pompeo says the ministerial summit will not be a one-time event, but an annual event under the Trump administration. Eric Rosales, CBN News, Washington.
Here's a look now at some of the other major headlines we're following in the CBN newsroom today. An explosive wildfire tore through two small Northern California communities Thursday. Residents are fleeing from the Carr fire, which has already killed one worker and injured several firefighters. Officials say the fire is taking down everything in its path. Crews are working to contain the fire, which is burning across 45 square miles. Nearly 2,000 immigrant children were reunited with their parents by yesterday's court-ordered deadline. The Trump administration says about 700 children remain separated still, most of whose parents have already been deported. They say those reunions will take more time as the government works to fly them back home to their home countries of Guatemala, El Salvador, and Honduras. A U.S. military plane made a rare trip into North Korea to retrieve 55 cases of remains of U.S. military members killed during the Korean War. The White House said the handover follows through on a promise Kim Jong-un made to President Donald Trump during their June summit in Singapore. The remains were delivered in a ceremony on a military base in South Korea. More than 7,000 U.S. soldiers are still listed as missing from the Korean War, most of whose remains are believed to still be in North Korea. And for more on these and other stories, visit cbnnews.com. A blood moon will appear in the night sky tonight in a show of the longest lunar eclipse for the next 1,000 years. According to NASA, the moon will spend a total of 3 hours and 54 minutes in Earth's shadow. The eclipse will be best seen in Africa, the Middle East, Southern Asia, and the Indian Ocean. Astronomers say Mars will also appear red tonight and will shine brighter in the sky since it has since 2003. Some Christians believe the blood moons are a sign of fulfillment of prophecy. And to read more about that, visit cbnnews.com. Even though the economy grew very strongly in the second quarter, some businesses are still facing troubles. Facebook had the biggest one-day loss in stock market history Thursday. As Jennifer Wishon reports, Facebook has also been facing other problems as some conservatives and Christians have had concerns about censorship by the social media giant.
In one day, the social media giant lost nearly $120 billion of its market share. This after the company revealed its user base and revenue grew slower than expected as it grapples with privacy and censorship concerns. Why? Some blame the Cambridge Analytica scandal, where a political data company gained access to 50 million users' information, resulting in Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg testifying before Congress. Meanwhile, some Christians and conservatives argue Facebook is targeting their messages for censorship.
People that believes in God, people that believes in our Constitution, people that even create patriotic songs. They want to get rid of that stuff. But if somebody was walking around naked and beating up somebody, that kind of, or disparaging our president, that kind of stuff garner millions of views.
National Religious Broadcasters President Jerry Johnson says Facebook should apply the First Amendment to questions of speech. Otherwise, he fears Christian and conservative voices will be silenced.
Silicon Valley does not want conservative talk and Christian talk. They want to push progressive and leftist values. It's just the fact.
Zuckerberg lost $16 billion in personal wealth, and some believe it's time the 34-year-old lost even more, his job.
The problem is we don't learn in computer science the techniques of managing a global company that involves governments, that involves diverse shareholders, that involves diverse political interests.
Jennifer Wishon, CBN News.
Twitter's stock also fell early today after its new earnings report, and President Trump has threatened to investigate Twitter over a practice known as shadow banning. The president is concerned that the social media company is limiting the visibility of prominent conservatives in its search results. Trump's criticism came after Vice News reported that several Republican congressmen had been banned unknowingly from Twitter's search engine. Dan Gaynor, Vice President of Business and Culture at the Media Research Center, tells CBN News the social media company's bias toward conservatives comes as no surprise.
We did a major research project earlier this year looking at the top social media companies, and we found at the time that Twitter was the worst.
After MRC and the president spoke out about the shadow banning, Vice News reported Twitter adjusted its platform to reinstate the visibility of some prominent Republicans in its search results. And to hear more from Gaynor, go to cbnnews.com and look for our report on the Twitter controversy. Democrats in the Senate cannot block President Trump's Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh on their own, but they hope to at least delay it. Abigail Robertson brings us that story from the Supreme Court showdown.
Many Senate Democrats are refusing to even meet with Judge Kavanaugh unless Republicans release close to 1 million pages of documents related to Kavanaugh's tenure in the Bush White House.
Our Republican colleagues are dragging their feet, and that begs a serious question. What are Judge Kavanaugh and the Republicans hiding?
Majority Leader Mitch McConnell responded to the tactic by threatening to keep senators in session as long as needed to get a vote on Kavanaugh.
Don't let there be no misunderstanding that there would be any kind of delaying tactic that would take us past the first Tuesday in November.
Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Chuck Grassley tells CBN News he believes these documents wouldn't change a thing.
How much more do they need to know to vote no? And yet they're really pushing hard for everything.
Grassley would like the Senate to go back to when they simply looked at a nominee's qualifications, not their politics or ideology.
Now you have it, you can barely get somebody with 51 or 52 votes to get on the Supreme Court because some people take the view, well, it doesn't matter who Trump appoints, I'm going to be against him.
He believes Kavanaugh is a strong pick.
If you're a person before him, you would feel that you're getting equal justice before the law.
And Grassley feels if Kavanaugh can prove that during the hearing, he'll be fine.
Judge Kavanaugh satisfying people that he's going to be an independent person that's going to leave his personal views out of it, that he's going to look at the law and looks at the facts of the case.
Republicans are racing to get Kavanaugh on the bench by October 1st. the start of the next Supreme Court session. Reporting from Capitol Hill, Abigail Robertson, CBN News.
The Christian community continues to mourn the unexpected death of author, speaker, and blogger Winter Evans Pitts. The mother of four and niece to megachurch pastor Dr. Tony Evans died in her sleep Tuesday at just 38 years old. Now her husband Jonathan Pitts is hoping his wife's death will be a reminder to all that life is short. On Instagram, he left an inspiring note with a profound message. You can never know for sure if you are young or old because you don't know when the Lord will call you home. The family continues to ask for prayers during this difficult time. Coming up, Jewish immigrants arrive in Israel this week, helping to celebrate the Jewish state's 70th anniversary and fulfill biblical prophecy. We'll have that story when we come back. Welcome back. Clashes between Muslim worshippers and Israeli security forces rocked the Temple Mount today after a Palestinian terrorist stabbed an Israeli man to death and wounded two others in a Jewish community outside Jerusalem Thursday. Despite the threat of terrorism, Jews are moving to Israel. Hundreds of Jewish immigrants landed at Israel's Ben Gurion Airport at the start of the week. Both Jewish and Christian leaders gave them a joyous welcome to help celebrate Israel's 70th anniversary year. As John Wagi reports, they're helping to fulfill Bible prophecy.
In Hebrew, it's called Aliyah, or going up to the land of Israel. And these immigrants are joining thousands of other Israelis who have made Aliyah in the 70 years since Israel became a modern nation. Both outgoing Jewish Agency Chairman Natan Sharansky and the new chairman, Isaac Herzog, were on hand to greet them.
Nearly 200 of these brand new, soon-to-be Israelis are from France, and many of them are children. France is just one of a number of countries in Europe and throughout the globe where the danger to Jews is growing.
It's very concerning what's happening in Western Europe, also in other parts of the world where you can see anti-Semitism rising its ugly head, whether it's in the form of anti-Semitism or anti-Israel sentiments, which are basically just masking anti-Semitism.
Moore says the Jewish Agency has kept a promise since Israel became a nation 70 years ago.
Never again will there be a Jewish person who is in danger, who is full of hope, who wants to come to Israel, but the doors are closed.
Thierry Haddad, a pianist, says radical Muslim anti-Jewish violence was a factor in his move.
It's more and more true. Also, the politics try to protect, but it's difficult.
Sarah Rachel Levy came alone from Paris. She says anti-Semitism didn't drive her out. It was more of a calling.
I would be with my people and my God on my land. It was an obligation for me. If I didn't do that, it's like I am dead. I don't know how to say.
Christian leaders also played a role in the welcome ceremony. They've been helping Jewish immigrants get to Israel for decades. Why? Tom Hess, director of the All Nations Convocation in Jerusalem, says the 700 references to Aliyah in the Bible make it clear it's something close to God's heart.
It says in the scriptures that God will bring his people back from the north, the south, the east, and the west. Most of the Jews have come from the north and the south and the east, but 90% of the Jews outside of Israel today are in the west. So we know there's going to be a massive aliyah, not only continuing from the north, but from the west. God will bring back millions and millions of Jews.
John Wagi, CBN News, Tel Aviv.
Still ahead, he wanted to live in the mountains, but God had other ideas for him, and he learned to bloom where he was planted. Now he's known as a connoisseur of outdoor adventure. He shows it online with his videos that demonstrate his love for God's creation and for Jesus. We'll have his story right after this. Hunting, camping, fishing, cooking. Bill Dixon is a connoisseur of outdoor adventure. His video blogs on Facebook and YouTube feature not only his passion for God's creation, but his love for Jesus. Wendy Griffith went out to the Pungo Prairie here in southeastern Virginia to meet the man known as the Renaissance Redneck.
Hey y'all, welcome to the Pungo Prairie. And we're going to be hunting some of these legendary Saskatchewan trophy whitetail bucks. So don't go nowhere, because you don't want to miss this.
For more than 5 years, Bill Dixon has been serving up a delicious medley of recipes, outdoor adventures, and camping tips, sprinkled with a good dose of faith that has delighted fans of his video blogs.
Now I'm going to show y'all how to set up camp the Pungo Prairie Way.
Pungo is a rural area of eastern Virginia, and the last place Dixon thought he would end up after his marriage ended.
She was the love of my life. We were married almost 20 years, and she just decided she wanted to do something different. And I always thought I was going to be in the mountains at this stage of my life. Sure. God finally told me, Dixon, you're not going to be in the mountains. You can go to the mountains, but I've given you the Pungo Prairie, so you got to learn to bloom where you're planted.
Some of that planting happened after Dixon flunked the 5th grade and had to repeat it at a Christian school.
My mother, she kind of got worried about me. One day I was out in the yard and she was watching me, and I came in the house and she said, Billy, are you okay? I said, yeah, Mom, I'm fine. Why? She said, who are you talking to out there? I said, what do you mean? She said, I'm a little bit worried about every time I look out, you're like talking, your lips are moving. Oh, Mom, I'm just praying. She said, you're praying? I said, yeah, Miss Glazebrook told me the Bible says to pray without ceasing. Now, the first thing we're going to do...
For years, friends begged Dixon to share his delicious recipes in a cookbook. But Dixon thought he could reach more people by video.
Made a what you got chili, just out of what I had in the refrigerator in the pantry. It wasn't planned at all. And I shot a real quick impromptu video of that. And I said, that'll shut them up. Once they see that, I won't have to worry about it anymore.
And they loved it.
And then they're ready, you got to do another one. You got to do another one.
Bill, you always say a blessing over the food. And why do you do that?
I thought, okay, if I'm going to be doing this, let me do it so that maybe people can see that you can have fun, you can hunt, you can fish, you can love the great outdoors, you can party, you can have a great time, you still love the Lord, and it's even better. And the subtleties of the Bible or God's minute sitting there in a scene and a clip and the blessing at the end. Lord, thank you so much for maybe, just maybe that will, grab the attention of somebody.
Dixon says one of his videos did more than that. It helped save a life.
And he said, I just want to let you know that you really kept me going for the last year while I was laid up 100 and some odd days in the hospital, battling 2 forms of leukemia. And him and his 6-year-old son, they watched the video Good Camp, which is a time-lapse thing of me setting my hunting camp up in the mountains of Virginia. And they just watched, and he said, I just wanted to let you know how much I appreciated being able to go to watch your videos while I was spending that time in the hospital. And that really just blew me away.
So Bill, right now, as I'm interviewing you, we are surrounded by several deer that I'm assuming that you shot and killed and ate, and a very large buffalo. Can you tell us about this?
Each one of these animals you see, I took, and my daddy taught me early on, if you're going to kill something, make sure you're going to eat it. Right. And I like knowing where my food comes from. Mm-hmm. And one way I know where my food comes from is where I go out and harvest it myself.
Today, the man affectionately known as the Renaissance Redneck entertains his many followers on Facebook and YouTube and has no plans to stop.
To me, there's 2 verses in the Bible that is almost all you need. And one's John 3:16. We know what that is.
Yeah.
And the other one is Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. So if you accept Jesus and you act on that faith and then you believe Psalm 23 verse 1, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want, everything else comes together. And that, girls and boys, is what's cooking on the Pungo Prairie.
Wendy Griffith, CBN News, somewhere on the Pungo Prairie.
Oh, that's great. The Renaissance Redneck. Tell you what, giving out good information and with a heart for Jesus. Can't beat that. We'll be right back with more of CBN NewsWatch. Don't go away. The weekend is here, and if your plans include heading to the theaters, our friends at Plugged In Online have a family-friendly review of the new movie Mission Impossible Fallout. Take a look.
The end you always feared is coming.
In the movie Mission Impossible Fallout, the madman anarchist Solomon Lane is behind bars. So it's time for IMF agent Ethan Hunt to take a vacation, right? Well, not quite. It turns out that the remnants of Lane's syndicate have joined forces with another mysterious killer and are threatening a worldwide catastrophe involving 3 missing Russian plutonium cores. Ethan also has to deal with a heavy-hitting CIA enforcer.
His team would be dead.
Yes, they would. That's the job.
An MI6 agent floating around with her own deadly agenda, and the fact that his beloved ex, Julia, is in someone's crosshair.
So, how is he?
Hell, you know. Same old Ethan.
And on top of everything else, he has to break Solomon Lane back out of his highly secure confinement without hurting anyone.
This is a bad idea. Is it ever a good one? Honestly.
This 6th pick in the Mission Impossible franchise is the epitome of today's spy guy action film. It has a stalwart but emotionally tortured hero, tons of twisting intrigue, along with all the breakneck ticking clock action you might imagine that you can pack into 2.5 hours of film. That also means there's a whole lot of painful looking beat 'em ups, a few nasty expletives, and some incredibly intense and sometimes goopy death dealing in the secret agent mix. So I'm giving Mission Impossible Fallout 2.5 dastardly double crosses out of 5 for family friendliness. For an in-depth review of this film or anything else at your local box office, be sure to visit us at PluggedIn.com. Plugging you into the movies, I'm Bob Olszewski for Focus on the Family's Plugged In Movie Review.
And you can find more of our exclusive coverage of the issues you care about most at CBNNews.com and tell us what you think about the stories you've seen here. And you can do that by emailing newswatch@cbn.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.